Huh, very interesting. I'll find a spot here. Let's see. Gotta figure something out here. Let's see, how does that? Wished I could see what the devil we got here. Got to be a way I can have. I'm just gonna have to go for it. Good day. Ken here, Ken's Hobbies. As you can see, I got the camera set up, focused on the car here. I think today we're gonna pull this car out of the garage here, get it outside. We're gonna do two things here. Where was I now? Right. As I was going to say, time we get on the old car here, get this thing going again. I did mention on an earlier video about having no vehicle. Well, I wasn't going to bother anything but redoing the paint job on it until Richard came up with, well, yeah, there's the odd time you will need the vehicle, which I just discovered in this last little while in doing that lawnmower. So he's right in what he said. There's times where you need to have a vehicle, especially in this city of Prince George. Our transit system is the absolute pits. When I looked at the bus routes, well, yeah, the two biggest places I go, which is Princess Auto for one, and Home Depot is the other one. Well, I found a slight problem with the transit system. Going to Home Depot isn't too bad, but it's worse than going to Princess Auto, and I'll tell you why. Okay, first of all, for going to Princess Auto, the route is number 5, going there, and it's a bus stop right in front of the Tim Hortons, which is beside Princess Auto. It's fine for getting there, but coming back, the crazy bus routes, instead of saying 5, we'll say, for example, 5 Ospika and 5 downtown, like in every other city that I've been in. Oh no, it's got to be totally there. Trust BC Transit. And that's what gets me about BC Transit. Why? In Vancouver and Victoria, the bus is routed from downtown to where it's going, and when it goes back downtown, it's plainly said the bus route does not change the number. For example, when I was in Victoria, and it was a street called Majestic that was only 2 blocks long, and it was actually way in Saanich. Whereas downtown Victoria, well, the bus number was, I think if I remember right, number 48 Majestic to go to where I was doing this job in Victoria. Going downtown, it was number 48 downtown. Straight enough. The same in Edmonton. When I lived in Edmonton, my 2 buses that were the closest to me, the closest one, was route number 5. Now, in one direction, it said number 5, Coliseum. Number 5, Westmount. That was simple. You knew exactly which direction it was going. But oh no, not here in Prince George. Oh, now, number 5 we'll speak of. Coming home from Princess Auto, number 55. The problem is, number 55 goes counterclockwise when the number 5 goes clockwise. They both miss each other at Pine Center Mall, which is, I'd estimate about 2 blocks from Princess Auto. Trouble is, you get there, now before you can come back, you got a 1 hour wait before you can get the next 55 going back home for a 10-minute drive. Anywhere else, now for Home Depot, I gotta walk 5 blocks to get a number 89 that says Westmount on its route. Coming back, it's a number 8 Hart Mall. Why can't it just be simple, like only one bus route in this city is marked correctly? And that's the University bus, which is University Northern British Columbia, or short term UNBC. It's number 15 from downtown, UNBC. Number 15 downtown. The one and only one in all our routes in this city that is marked correctly. Very, very confusing. I've ended up more than once in the wrong direction. So with Richard saying that about times I do need the vehicle, I started thinking about it. Well, yeah, even if I used it only once a month, it's still cheaper in the long run for a $50 a month insurance payment, even if I don't use it. Then taking my time and adding my time up for waiting and half the day gone. So if the doors open here, what we gotta do is, first of all, you'll see in a minute here, since we get the doors open here, when I broke down, I'll show you in a minute here, and the car was brought to me, I don't know what you call it, vandalism or what, but got the shock of my life when I discovered the one of my most important items gone, and that was my booster. But before I can move the car, there's another issue since that event, was when I got the battery charged after discovering the interior light being on, or the glove box light I should say, recharged the battery, went to do a task for Richard, came home. What the heck was I doing for Richard? Oh, I was doing the floor, that's right. Came home, took the battery charge off, and the following morning I was going to pull the car in the shop garage here, because my intention was I was just going to park and start with the body work. Went to start it up in the following morning, but dead battery again. So I charged it the second time. Third day, same thing. Battery was dead. Well, what's draining the power and causing the battery to go dead? I just put a new alternator in the thing, so I can't see it being going. So I got disconnected the battery when I pulled it in, so it'd be ready to pull out when I wanted to pull it out. So the first thing I've got to do is hook the battery up. Also, where the location is, for safety reasons, I disconnected the distributor in order to get at the thermostat housing, so it could not be started. So we got to hook that back up. That's one. When I did pull the car in, I couldn't keep the damn thing running. Seemed I just wanted to stall out. Then I got thinking, oh right, it's not just the distributor, but it's also this, I don't know whether it's a temperature sensor or a map sensor. But I didn't plug it in, and therefore it just would kill the engine. Okay, so got those wires plugged in. Now we're going to hook the battery up. I'm just going to tap them on here. Positive first. Oh, my key must have been on. Okay. As I heard, pile of relays close and the fan motor come on. Okay. Well, theoretically, it should fire up and be able to pull this out of here. Right now I've got no water in it, but it doesn't hurt to run it a few minutes in doing what you gotta do. Made the difference plugging the sensor in. Well, that answered one question. Why it didn't stay running on me when I brought it in. That's the moment I've been waiting for. Off a fast throttle. Okay. camera changed. New position. Okay, I said I'd show you what I discovered when the car was delivered to me. All this was in my glove box. When the car got delivered to me from the wrecker, that was open, like that. Now I had my I just said it earlier on, booster sitting in there, but I had my cables hidden under the seat on the driver's side. As you can see, when the glove box is open, that light is on. Trying to get zoomed in here. Where are we? It's the door. Try putting that leg in. Right there. When I close it, it does appear like it turns the light off. So that's the mess that I discovered when even my cup holder was thrown from the center in the corner here. The odd part is, they didn't take my snow brushes, but they did empty my glass cleaner jug and left the jug there. So that's the three things that's the priority at this point to work on. Number one is when this thing boiled on me and shut off. Well, if you look here at the side of my radiator, you see all this rust here. I had all that perfectly clean, and I flushed this for a full day. As you can see, it's spewed all over. So I spotted a leak in base here, and you can see a little room in it where I pretty well have to take all these connection off to get that housing on. So before, I also have a new water pump on here. You can see it's full of rust again. So I'm going to give it a flush job again for the second time. Now I'm contemplating on the heater core, and I'm just wondering about that. Thinking about, is that what caused my problem when it overheated? Did it all of a sudden break a blockage free? And there's two reasons I'm not really getting the heat in the winter I should be getting. So I'm going to pull the hoses off, and that's a fun little place to get into for the heater hoses. Oh boy. Fording their better ideas. Better for how to make it harder to work on. That's what I've come to conclusion. Well, this is going to be fun. What used to be a 5-minute job or a 10-minute job is now turned into hours. Great. Okay, let the fun begin. I found a chemical here that I'm gonna get this block filled up first. Perhaps I can't even see where the heater hoses are connected. Oh boy, I see. We got a camera, a totally different angle here. That camera angle is not going to work. Okay, change our camera angle again. I think I found the spot. And bring it. That's about the best I can get at this point. Maybe move this here. Yeah, that might be better. I won't be able to tell until I edit the things. That's where the final result comes. A camera person would be so nice to have, and having to set this up. Well, we're going to settle with that. Okay, where do I begin? Good question. Before I begin anything, we got to get things out of the way. So let's get this all unplugged once more, so one can get their hands in there to do things. Take our lightning wire off here, and get a few more things out of the way here. Boy, these plastic clips, they sure make it tough. Used to be so easy to disconnect in the past, but not anymore. Oh, that's how they used to be. I wish they still are. Oh, I see, that's a condenser. Or capacitor is the right term. Okay, we'll get a small screwdriver. Well, I couldn't find my small one, but any screwdriver will do. Just to get these darn connections undone. And I found out in my experience, you gotta lift these up. If you just try pulling on the wire itself, you end up ripping the wire out of the connector. And that's the reason why. Come on. 90% of the time I end up breaking these things. Ever since they started coming out with these plastic connections, I am so against. Another reason I got the hell out of the field. Boy, that sure is some tight in there. Okay, we're gonna see what we can come up with here. Time to use a little force. Probably never has come off in the past. Just what I figured. Yeah. That's the first time probably since it was new that it's been apart. Okay. Now, that's that part. Now what do we got here for our AC? Oh, right. When I got my new unit here, so much excess wire was with it that's why I folded it up like this. Well, same thing. Ridiculous how that is. In my opinion, this is just total ridiculousness. No need to make a clip this so tight that it's just virtually impossible to get off. Okay, we should be able to pull this through here. Get a spot where we can get this harness out of the road. And we got to re-disconnect this so that we can get in there. As I was just saying, just broke that one. This out of the road. I thought that was our sensor. Okay. Now we get a hose there. I sure don't like the way that comes against that, so I think I'm going to modify that a bit. Okay, what else is in our road here? Clean this old silicone off here, the majority. And there's a good example right there of what came out of here for coolant. So before I do put the thermostat on, this is why I want to get it all flushed out. Okay, so now that's open enough to get the I'm going to cut a little bit off of this hose here and bring it in. I just don't like the way it's against that and rubbing against that. Once again, another obstacle. Wonder what the reason for Ford coming out with that rubber on the distributor cap. Well, I got it at that point. I've never checked the inside of the cap to see how good shape it is. But you heard how quick it started. No issue, no misses. But it's due for a good little clean out. Okay, that gives it a little bit more room. Get it to stay there somehow. Rotor looks good yet. We start seeing a little pitting here, carbon pitting, so doesn't hurt to clean it up. Okay, let's get the second part of this. Is there a second part? Oh yeah, there is. I see. It has two screws. That screws that down from the inside. Okay, that'll give me a hair bit more room if I remove that. Yeah, not a 1/4 inch, so that's right, it's metric, this thing. We do have a second option. We do have a Phillips head on here, so you can also use a screwdriver. And oh boy. Oh boy. Well, they're on, they're so tight. I wonder. Okay, if it wasn't 1/4 inch and it's metric, probably either 7 or 8 millimeter. We'll start with my 8 millimeter, which is the same as 5/16. And that's too big. So, I can't remember if this nut driver is metric or standard, so we'll find out. And it is metric. As usual, have to hunt for tools. Okay, and my metric set. Now to get the right lighting that I can read. Okay, we're going to go try 7 millimeter. And lo and behold, that's what it is. How long the bolt is this? 10 miles long, of course. A little dirt in there, so we got to do a little clean up in there. Won't hurt at all to clean that up there. This is the magnetic field that and the magnets that give you your pulsing for your sparkulators, as Derek calls them. Lightning sticks. What is it? lightning sticks. Yeah, he calls these lightning sticks, the spark plug wires. Well, that opens it up so you can work in there. Let's get this ignition coil off of here so I can inspect that hose. And that looks like it could be, yeah, it is. Do we have the socket here? Be able to have, yes we do, 11 millimeter, which is what I suspected. 11 millimeter and 7/16, same size. And I see we got 2 bolts that basically hold this. Oh yeah, you can see right there, she rubs pretty good. We're going to change that. I don't like that one bit, so we're going to change that. Get it away from rubbing like that. Oh boy. What we're going to do is we're going to cut a little bit off of each end here. And we're going to leave it off for now. You know, here's one tip. You're going to be putting hose clamps on, replacing hoses. Always put your clamp. Think of the next person. It might not be you. It might be somebody else, so you want to assist them. So instead of, like you've seen, I had that clamp, and that was the reason I pretty well had it. You can see the results of me having to take that cap off. Instead of putting the clamp like that, so one can reach it in straight like that. I don't know. Have to be like that. No, be considerate. Put it like that where it's somewhere in there so it's easy. Not only for you, but for the next fella that ever works on it. Okay, so that one's disconnected. I personally like to use my 5/16 nut driver on those rather than the screwdriver. The results are much better. Didn't even think about it, and I put it away again. So we'll just go get it again. As you can see, that works so much now. You see what I'm talking about? That would be open once your cap is on here, rather than like it was, like that. And there you see how much easier it is using a nut driver versus the screwdriver. And now, let's see if we can get the hose itself off. thought I'd brought my channel locks out, but I guess I didn't. One of the easiest ways that I've learnt for breaking hoses free is using the old channel locks. Grab and twist them. Okay, that's broke free. No matter getting it off. And now, if you were to look down in there, you can see how much rust is in there. Okay, well, that definitely is one of the heater hoses. That's good. So we can follow that to the other end. And, okay, that goes to the heater valve. If you can get your hands in there, that is. Oh, I love this setup. That's been, once upon a time, worked on. Okay, how the devil are you supposed to get in there? You got the same issues here. Whole pile of wires in the road, making it that you cannot get your hands in there. Here we go again. Get these damn things apart. Yeah. There is no need to have them so friggin' tight like that. Let's just see if we can't tuck it out of the way. What about, where the devil does this go? Oh, I see. We got a big twist in there. Great. Oh, man. I hope the newer ones aren't like this. This is another reason I will not buy a newer vehicle. That gives me a little more room. Get this twist out of here. If I could get this one off, I'd be so much happier. The heck, I wonder if this is something to do with the vacuum by the looks of it. Oh, great. Put it upside down so one cannot access it. That's right. That trick seems to work. We'll find the root yet. Well, that definitely opens it up that you can get in there with your hands. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. No way you can get a nut driver on there. There's no way you can get a screwdriver on there. I do see a way. There's one method is to remove this little plastic piece here. I see where my windshield wiper's been rubbing, where the noise has come from. Just found it. Right there. Okay, well, this thing's called sockets. I'm going to have to take a break here. It's starting to get quite warm. It's like I figured would happen. The weather would go from one extreme, now it's going to go to the other. I was just watching Matt's Off-Road Recovery, and the title of this video he posted this today, Hot Weather Hits Us in Extremes, or something like that. You can feel the same things happening here, so close these doors so the shop doesn't, and garage doesn't get heated up. Right on the mower. If you remember right, I was saying about I might just have to put the axle on the upper side. Well, that's exactly what I did. Get it on the upper side now. And what I did, I took my angle bracket here and I made a clamp out of it and got it bolted down here and here. Making the bracket here. I also decided to drill a little hole here, put a couple of cotter pins in so that it's set into the frame here, and it allows the axle not to go back and forth like that. And as you can see, it's the perfect height. The neighbor, I started cutting the grass yesterday, And you won't believe how quickly I ran out of breath. So my neighbor came over, wanted a package of smokes. I says, fine. You want smokes? I want my lawn cut. You take over and I'll give you a package of smokes for cutting the grass for me. And he did a good job, so thank you to Mike, my neighbor. There's my next item, sitting right there. Got to get a carburetor ordered for that thing, get that thing going, because I'm going to be needing it very shortly here. So I think I'll get that carburetor on order.